eights are often called the challenger or the protector. And when healthy, eights can literally change the world. I believe Martin Luther King Jr. was an eight. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep. Harriet
Awesome.
Tubman, the list goes on.
Yeah.
Mother
They are incredible.
Teresa, by the way.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. They are incredible people who advocate for the vulnerable, defend the weak, and fight for justice. And so the first mental health tip that I gave for eights is to put your guard down by being vulnerable with and showing your weaknesses with some trusted friends. Putting your guard down will allow you to be truly known by others as you really are, and that's what all of us really long for in life. And the second mental health tip I gave for eights came from the popular Enneagram book, The Road Back to You. Speaking about eights, authors Ian Cron and Suzanne Stabile said, when you power up and get angry, stop and ask yourself whether you're trying to hide or deny a vulnerable feeling. What feeling is it? How do you use aggression as a way to hide it or defend against it? Perhaps you're trying to hide or deny feelings of grief, shame, or disappointment. Ask yourself, is there something else going on at a deeper level that is masking itself as anger? And this idea really kind of gets back again to getting in touch with your feelings. Feeling your feelings is so important, but to do that, first, we need to be able to pinpoint our feelings. So, those are just a couple tips I gave for eights, and I'm sure you have some great insight and some thoughts as well.
Yeah, that's good. Difficulty accepting emotions or paying attention to their emotions is a big deal. Like there is such a thing as sadness and fear that they do
Yes.
experience, and paying attention to those things. Because here's the deal: is that aggression begets aggression, and when they walk through life with defensiveness, it will lead to others being defensive. And here's the interesting thing that I found through this survey is that the denial and pressure to be at their best, or to defend themselves and be on guard at all times, can actually make them more susceptible to traumatic experiences, right?
Wow.
Their anger can actually increase their risk of encountering PTSD, because when
Wow.
they don't get in touch with their sadness and fear, and express those things, what it does is it turns into anger, fighting, aggressiveness, which then will cause unhealthy people to retaliate, and
Wow.
it'll cause them to get into fights, and it'll cause them to get harmed in return, right? And so
Yeah.
eights just have a this is crazy to think about this, but eights have a higher risk of PTSD because of that. And
Mm.
so may have, even my son who's an eight, getting in fights is so easy for him on the playground. And there's so many people that, misunderstand him, misinterpret him, that are aggressive towards him, and that can weigh on him for
Sure.
quite some time. Another thing for eights is that just as sixes live with low grade anxiety, eights can live with low grade paranoia,
Mm.
stemming from this fear of betrayal, fear of being harmed, fear of being taken advantage of. And so this can manifest as sort of muddled thinking, plotting, revenge, or
Wow.
just a tendency towards any sort of acts of revenge. And so eights need to realize that God's got their back, that God's fighting their battles for them. They don't have to fight all of their battles, and just to rest, and put that low grade paranoia to death, because
Man.
it'll eat away at an eight. And
Wow.
here's the thing that people don't realize is that eights need our help and our encouragement and our support all the time, but may give us the impression that they don't need any help. So we can often assume that eights just can handle their burdens, they're tough enough to handle their mental health issues, but they don't need anything from us because they're strong and they got it. But that couldn't be more from the truth, right?
Yeah.
So eights can break this cycle by being vulnerable and acknowledging to a few trusted people in their life, to acknowledge their pain, their sadness, so that they can invite other people to help them become strong, and give them the support they need to work through these mental health issues.